POV, you're scrolling late at night when a stranger flashes a screen full of green and says he made a year's salary in a week. Something in your chest tightens. Not jealousy exactly, more like a question. What if that could be you? So you start watching charts, candles, people in nice cars talking about freedom and quitting their jobs forever. The dream they sell you is intoxicating, and it is always the same three promises, repeated until you start to believe them. The pitch is always the same. Anyone can do it. You just need a laptop, a little capital, and the courage to start. What they rarely mention is the part you're about to live. The losing, the doubt, the very long road in between. The numbers behind that dream are brutal. Year after year, the large majority of active traders end up losing money, not making it. You decide you're in. You open your very first trading account with money you told yourself you could afford to lose. You don't have a strategy. You don't have a plan for losing. You have a buy button, a hunch, and an unshakable feeling that you're different. $500. It feels like a lot and nothing at the same time. You stare at the confirmation screen for a while. The platform loads. Green and red bars, blinking numbers, a buy button and a sell button. It looks like a video game. You feel invincible. Like you found a secret door everyone else walked past. Like the hard part is already over. Reality check. Most new accounts are gone within months, and the average beginner is wildly overconfident on day one. But you don't believe any of that yet. Statistics are for other people, the slow ones, the ones without your obvious natural talent. Your very first trade, your hand actually shakes as you click buy. Heart pounding, you watch the number tick upward, and it goes up. Then up some more. In 20 minutes you're up $40, which feels like you printed it from nothing. You close it. $40 in 20 minutes, you do the math in your head, and the math is frankly insane. Your brain whispers the most expensive sentence in trading. I figured this out. This is easy. I am clearly a natural. So you do it again. Bigger this time, because if 40 was easy, then why not 100? Why not your whole account? This is the trap that catches almost everyone. A random early win convinces you that luck was skill, and you bet bigger on it. That confidence has a name, and the name is a target painted on your back. The market notices people like you. The next trade goes the wrong way. No problem, you think. It'll come back. It always comes back. You just have to wait. It does not come back. It keeps dropping, and your $40 win and a chunk more vanish in front of your eyes. In a single trade you give back the win and then some. Red, for the first time, on money that was actually green an hour ago. Now you're angry. Not at yourself, at the market like it cheated you personally. And angry traders do one specific thing. They revenge trade. You pile back in to win it back fast, bigger size, no plan, just the need to feel right again. It is the single fastest way to turn a small loss into a disaster, and you are about to find that out the hard way. And so the account dies. Not in one trade, but in a frantic afternoon of trying to fix the last mistake with a bigger one. Watch your balance over that one day. This is what a blown account actually looks like, and it is faster than you'd think. 0. The buy button is grayed out, the video game is over, and the coins were real money you had earned and saved. There's a specific silence when an account hits 0. No more buttons to press, no trade to fix it, just the number staring back at you. You sit there stunned. Then you do the thing almost everyone does. You decide it was a fluke, and you deposit again. And you blow that one too, and maybe a third. The cycle has a shape, and once you see the shape you can't unsee it. Deposit, gamble, blow up, swear you'll stop, deposit again. Each loop costs more money and a little more of your hope. Every time you tell yourself this round is different. New strategy, fresh start, lesson learned. Every time, the same ending arrives. Eventually you stop and add it all up, and the real number is bigger than any single screen ever showed you. Real money. Money that was supposed to be savings, or a holiday, or just a cushion, and now it is simply gone. You feel stupid. You feel ashamed. You promised yourself you were smarter than this, and the chart disagreed. And here, at the bottom, is where the story ends for most people. They quit, quietly, and honestly, that is the rational choice. If trading is costing you money you can't lose and peace you can't replace, walking away is not weakness, it is wisdom. But say you don't quit. Say instead of depositing again, this time you finally get curious about why you keep losing. Not curious like before, dreaming about the money. Curious like a mechanic. What exactly, mechanically, keeps breaking every single time? That single shift is the whole movie. Not a bigger account, not a hot tip, just the decision to actually learn the craft. For the first time, you treat this like a skill to be studied, not a slot machine to be fed. You commit to learning the unglamorous parts. You stop asking, what should I buy? You start asking a colder question. How do professionals not blow up in the first place? And the answer is boring. Almost insultingly boring. It has nothing to do with predicting the future and everything to do with defense. Professionals assume they will be wrong constantly. So they build a system where being wrong is survivable, even routine. You start a journal, every trade, why you took it, how you felt. The honesty stings, but the patterns are undeniable. The journal tells on you immediately. Your worst losses almost all came from trades that were never part of any plan. It is a strange feeling, realizing the enemy was never the market. The enemy was the impatient, hopeful person clicking the buttons. First lesson, the one that quietly separates traders who last from traders who don't. It is unglamorous and it is everything. The rule is simple. On any single trade, you risk a tiny fraction of your account. The common number people use is 1%. On a $10,000 account, 1% is $100. That is the most you let a single trade ever cost you. Why so small? Do the math. Risk 1% and you can be wrong many times in a row and still have most of your account. But risk 20% a trade, like the old you, and a short losing streak doesn't dent the account, it deletes it. Same 10 losing trades, one path leaves you nearly whole and still in the game. The other path ends your trading career entirely. That gap is the entire difference between a hobby that bankrupts you and a craft you can practice long enough to get good at. So before every trade now, you do something the old you never did. You decide where you're wrong before you ever click buy. The stop loss. An order that closes you out at a set price, so a small loss can never quietly become a catastrophic one. It will feel wrong to cap your losses while you're still hoping. Cutting a loser hurts. Doing it anyway is the job. Here's the cruel twist. You can know every rule and still break all of them, because the hardest market to beat is the one inside your skull. You realize most of your losses weren't bad analysis. They were good plans abandoned the second an emotion got loud enough. Fear of missing out. A trade rips higher without you and your brain screams, get in now before it's too late. Plan be damned. Revenge the old ghost. You take a loss and immediately want to jump back in angry. Discipline is feeling that pull and not moving. Greed. You're up nicely and your plan says take it, but a voice says hold for more, and more turns the win into a loss. You start to notice your three enemies have one thing in common. Fear, greed, and revenge all want you to abandon the plan right now. So the real skill isn't reading charts, it's managing the nervous, hopeful, terrified animal that is you, under pressure, with money on the line. Patience becomes your superpower. Most days, the best trade is no trade at all. You learn to sit on your hands and wait. None of this is dramatic. There's no montage, no lightning bolt. There is just month after month of doing the boring thing right. Small wins. Small losses. A plan followed even when it's boring, even when sitting out feels like missing your one big chance. And slowly, almost invisibly day to day, your equity curve stops looking like a cliff and starts looking like a staircase. It is not a straight line up. There are red weeks that test you, but the shape, finally, points the right way, and you trust the process. Green months don't feel like fireworks anymore. They feel like a Tuesday, like a job you're slowly, quietly getting good at. You measure yourself differently now, not by one lucky win, but by whether you followed your own rules, win or lose. Months pass at this new desk, the same screens, the same rules, the same calm clicks. The drama is gone, and that is exactly the point. This is the part the highlight reels skip. It is slow, it is repetitive, and it is the only part that ever actually worked. Eventually, you want to trade bigger without risking more of your own savings. So you try a funded challenge, a test of your discipline. The deal is simple. Trade within strict rules, stay under a loss limit, hit a modest target, and you trade a larger account that isn't yours. The rules are tighter than your own, which is the whole point. One emotional afternoon, one oversized trade, and the attempt is over. You fail the first one. You break a rule on a bad day. The old you would have spiraled. The new you just notes it and resets. You fail the second too, closer this time. Each failure is tuition, and you are finally a student who actually reads the lesson. Then the third attempt. No heroics. You just trade your boring discipline plan day after day, and the curve climbs to the target. You pass. After all the blow-ups, the shame, the months of nothing, a screen says funded. You read it 3 times to be sure. Now you trade the firm's capital under their rules, keeping a share of what you make, with far less of your own money exposed. Nothing about your trading changes. You size the same, you follow the same plan. The only difference is the number of zeros on the screen. Weeks later, the first payout lands. It is not a Lamborghini. It is a few $1,000s that you earned with patience, not luck. And weirdly, it doesn't feel like a jackpot. It feels like proof. Proof that the boring system, repeated, actually compounds. Getting funded didn't make you rich and it didn't make you safe. It just bought you a bigger stage to keep being disciplined on. So here you are, 1 year in, and it's time to tell you the truth that the late-night gurus left out of their pitch. This was never a lottery ticket. On the days it worked, it felt less like winning and more like clocking into a difficult job. Most people who start where you started never reach this chapter. They blow up, they chase, they quit, and the honest reason is simple. Zoom all the way out, and the real curve isn't a rocket. It's a long, jagged climb with drawdowns built in, earned slowly over years. It was never about being smart or fast or lucky. It was about doing unexciting things correctly, on purpose, for a very long time. If you take one thing from your imaginary first year, take this. Protect your capital first. Profit is what's left after you survive. And notice this whole year was just chapter 1. The traders who last think in years, not weekends, and treat losses as the cost of tuition. And if the honest version of this just made trading sound hard and slow and mostly thankless, good. That means you were listening. This story is for education only and is not financial advice. Trading carries real risk of loss. Only ever risk what you can truly afford to lose.